All obstacles are illusory. Let me read a little excerpt for you that I wrote. All obstacles are illusory and constructed in the mind. Think about it. If this so-called obstacle is surmountable and there is a solution, then it wasn't an obstacle at all in the first place. That solution to the obstacle was just your next step. This reminds me of two things. First of all, The Obstacle's the Way by Ryan Holiday, the book. And also, this reminds me of an insight I got from Leo Guerra's episode on actualize.org on the nature of insight. And he talks about how there exists a set of insights to get you from where you are to where you want to go. So if you're currently not living the good life, there exists a set of insights that will get you there. Open your mind to that possibility. But let me talk about this fundamental idea of obstacle. Because obstacles are actually a very strong word. You know, in its language use, we do have the assumption that obstacles, are something that we can jump over or hurdle over or whatever. But if you look at the definition, it actually means something that completely stops you. Like completely. And you're fucked. Your progress is halted 100% for sure. Think about that. You have to be very careful with how you even use your language when it comes to describing what you perceive. Rather than saying that, whatever situation that's in front of you, rather than saying that's an obstacle, why not say it is a challenge? Because a challenge, in the word challenge, that means it's actually surmountable. It's not something that's going to stop you. It just means it's something that you're going to have to think more intelligently about to conquer. It's very interesting. Think about this, right? Let's say you have a dream. And in 20 years from now, you're going to have fully accomplished that dream. Now imagine being in that perspective, right? How much you would know about how to deal with what's in front of you right now that seem like obstacles, right? Things that seem like are stops in our way. I think seeing things as an obstacle is actually a choice we make in our mind. You see, if we are really determined to really make our dreams come true, like determined to death, then I think your mind will open a lot more to seeing reality in a much less obstacle-like fashion, in a more like challenge-like fashion. I feel like if you start to see things as obstacles, that's giving yourself an excuse to opt out. But if you already have that determination and ambition that I'm not going to opt out, it's either this or I'm dead. It's either this, I'm going homeless, or this or that, right? If you're that absolutist about your dream and what you want to accomplish here in life, I think that is the ferociousness required to push past what other people would call obstacles. To push past these challenges. You have to be more creative than anybody else around you. You look around you, no one else has, A, accomplished their dream, B, and even an idea of their dream in their minds. And C, no one is even working towards either finding a dream or working towards accomplishing their dream. Have you noticed this? So you're going to have to be way more, like a million times more creative than those people. And then, you can see people that have gotten what you wanted. So if you want to be a YouTuber, like 10 million subs, you can look at what they have and you can even interview them and whatnot. But even then, you're going to have to translate that to make it work for your life. You're going to have to find the specific insights that will work for you in your job situation, in your financial situation, in your situation of your relationships with your people, in your situation with, if you have like a family and you have to support, other members of your family. If you're responsible for that, right? All these things, all come into the pool that is your specific puzzle to solve. Your specific challenge. Not problem, not obstacle. Your specific challenge. That's your flavor of puzzle. That's your flavor of the maze that you have found yourself in life. And in many ways, we can make this maze even more and more complex if we make bad choices, right? If we make a choice to become addicted to alcohol or various drugs, or be addicted to video games, or if we just choose to be distracted. These are all choices we can make to make this game infinitely more difficult. And I think a lot of the choices we make are things that create obstacles, and not only just challenges but obstacles. And that's why getting rid of all your vices, getting rid of all your distractions is so key to actually creating the life you want. One of the most liberating things that I've managed to do, and I'm actually so proud that I've managed to accomplish this, is that I've managed to train my mind and train my brain in such a way that I rarely, if ever, at this point in time, focus on anything other than chasing my goals. I got 5 goals. You want to have your top 25 things you want out of life, and then you want to pick the top 5 and then negate, and actively avoid the next 20. This was a piece of advice from Warren Buffett. Because why do you actively avoid the next 20? It's like, well, that's going to be the most enticing distractions for you. So when one of the 5 goals gets too difficult, you're going to try and switch them, and also even just focusing on one goal at a time rather than, all 5 at once. Because we can have this habit, this tendency to try to put all the irons in the fire at once. And then when one gets too hot for us, when one gets too uncomfortable for us, we'll switch to the next one. Have you noticed this with your productivity? When you see an obstacle, when you're focusing on one goal, because you chose to see it as an obstacle, not just a challenge that you just got to work through, then you switch to the next iron. So my 5 goals, so for example, for me, 5 goals: big YouTuber, full-time life coach, great body, published book, and enlightenment. Those are my 5. And I know it's just for several months I just worked on my book, and now I'm just working on YouTube, right? The body thing, I do work out every day, so that's something I actually can do at the same time with my other goals, because working out just gives me the energy and the ferocity to tackle all my other goals. But I'm not necessarily even working out. However, though, I'm not working out how you would go to a gym or whatever. I have my gym at home, and if I have access to one I can quickly walk to, I'll do that. But I just do push-ups, pull-ups, dips, and ab crunches and stuff. So that's really all I do. I just do the basics, burpees. And could I do more? Yeah. I think I could, I really would like to dial in on my macros, but I haven't been focusing on that. I've been focusing on YouTube, and I would love to, and I think I should, right? I think I should, start my coaching, because I've been in coaching masterminds, and the top advice is just throw yourself in there. But the thing is, though, you have to see that so many of these things can become distractions, and they can, having too much ambition can become an obstacle for yourself, because you only have so much time in your day. And if you really want to create an amazing result, you have to silo your time to just one thing or two max, right? Very small set of things. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bunch of irons in the fire and nothing forged. Now, I kind of digress from the main topic, but hopefully made a little bit of connection there. So to wrap things up, every problem you see in your life, see it as a sign that you just need to pivot or persevere, right? What is the universe trying to tell me? What is reality trying to tell me here? Ask that question when you come up against a obstacle or a really big challenge, right? And a lot of times it's not what, it's who. Who do you need to become to be that individual to overcome that challenge? And that's the key of personal development. If you can become that who, then all these problems will just blast away. You'll be surprised. So be willing to completely change your mind, body, and soul and your whole identity to become who you came here to be. Let that old self die completely to let the new self come in place. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.